crave you and I want some more, and I can hardly wait to see just what you have in store. You can have it your way, 'cause our love is here to stay.
Good morning, good evening, good
Gotta
afternoon,
keep
wherever
you
you are across the
interested,
globe. Welcome to
just
On the
like
Sofa
the
with
day we
Esther. Well,
met.
today with me, I
Feel
feel
in
very privileged
love
to
with
have the
you is so
wonderful Val
much
B
fun.
King
Would
with
you show
me.
me the
She's
love
a
that you
solo artist, she's an
gave
R&B
so
singer,
many
and she's going to
ways to
be talking
be
about her second album, So
in
Many Ways.
love
And
with
also,
you
I'm
is so
just going
much
to just
fun.
leave this with
Would
you
you
at this
show me
moment.
the
I'm not
love
going to
that
say
you
anything, but she
gave
is the
so
granddaughter
many
of,
ways
I'm
to
not going to say who it is
love.
yet
Give
because
them
we need to
service
find
and
out a
not
bit more about this young
smile.
lady. So,
Making
Val,
love with you can
welcome.
be so wild.
Thank you for having me.
Never
Without
bored
further
with you.
ado,
You're
I
always
usually ask my
trying
guests
something
in a nutshell, in a
new.
peanut shell, or a crab shell. Who is Val B King?
Val B King is an artist, a wife, a mother, granddaughter of legendary King of the Blues, B.B. King.
She said it. She said it.
Yes, but all those different things just make up who Val B King is, and I love every minute of it. Love being a mom, love being a wife. I have two teenage daughters, and people may think, "Oh, it's crazy," but I love it. I love
Mm,
it.
brilliant. And what is it you love about what is it you love about it and your daughters? I mean, obviously they're your daughters, but what is it about that experience that you love so much? Because you can clearly see that even though it can be crazy and busy and challenging.
Mhm. I just love being a mother. I love having the ability to mold them into being great individuals, loving on them, affirming them. I have daughters, so it's very important. And not only that, but the love they give in return. A lot of times we need that,
Mm.
and it's changed my life. So they make me want to be better every day. What I do musically, what I do in my 9 to 5, everything is for them. So they motivate me. Um,
Excellent.
yeah,
Excellent. Love that. Love that. And I so get that. And it shows, every time you talk about them, your face and everything lights up, and that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So let's move on. You've brought out a second album called So Many Ways. First and foremost, when did that come out? And just give us a little bit about what the album as a whole is about, Val.
okay, so my album was released on my birthday, August 24th.
Cool.
So, so many ways, it's just about so many ways to be loved.
Mm,
Um, there's the initial kind of jitters when you're falling in love. There's that deep love once you've been in love, once you've been married, with a partner. Um, and there's a song called Hold Me, where it's just talking about, as women, sometimes just need to be held. And I don't think it's just women.
yes.
So it's just about love, just the emotion all the way around.
Mm. Yeah, because there are 9 tracks on this album,
Hmm.
and they do sort of hold that semblance of love in all its different ways and forms, but they're also quite different as well in their
Hmm.
melodies. I looked at the first one, Ooh You, which
Yeah.
features, is it Naji? Have I pronounced that correctly?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Najee playing
Naji.
the flute.
Mm. And it's got a very sort of smooth jazz feel
Mhm.
around it, You're driving in the car, the windows are down, the rooftop is down, and the sun is beaming. It's got that sort of feel about it. And then there's The Thrill Is Gone, which is a little bit more bluesy as well, isn't
Mhm.
it? Well, I thought it was a bit bluesy, um,
Yeah.
into your
Ab-
grandfather there. Um, and then there's I Adore You. I mean, that's track 7. I've skipped a few, but I Adore You seemed to be very honoring, very almost nostalgic of of I Adore You. Um,
Yeah. Journey. Like at first I didn't know. I fell head over heels. And now I see that you have the same love for me that I have for you. So it's like I adore you. Yeah. That I really like that song too.
and what was the process like, Val, putting this together? I mean, how long did it take you to put this album together?
Very interesting. I started in January of 2019,
Okay.
and my manager at the time spoke with Frank McComb, who is the producer, and Frank's a friend of mine, and Frank was in Cleveland for an event, and so my manager at the time talked to Frank about doing what was supposed to be an EP, so
Mm.
about songs, and it wound up becoming a whole album. Kind of midway in the process, we said, "Hey, let's just make this a whole album." But I was so honored. My manager at the time knew how thrilled I would be to have Frank McComb. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with Frank McComb's music, but he is jazz soul artist, amazing voice, amazing musician. My goodness, sounds like Donny Hathaway mixed with Stevie Wonder.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does a
So
bit of gospel as well, doesn't he? He does a bit of gospel as well, doesn't he?
he's had gospel tracks, yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that was probably how he got started, was singing in the church. But yeah, Frank McComb, amazing artist, and so I was so thrilled to have him even agree to produce an EP, let alone a full album. And so we started the process. We started working on the first song in January of 2019, and so what, about like over 3 years later is when we released it. But the pandemic stopped a lot of things. It stopped everything.
Mhm.
So yeah,
You are
2020.
now. Fantastic. And the songs on this are some of them sort of reminiscent of your personal journey with love, because
Mm-hmm.
there are some artists, because I feel this bubbliness in you. I'm like, yeah, this is her story. This is a big part of her
Yeah.
story, which is really good as well, because a lot of people, we can sing about things often that, are outside of us. And that's an art in itself. But also when you can imbue your own journey in that, and especially around love and relationships, and the joy that I see it brings in. I mean, yes, obviously you've got your challenges, but as a whole, I see a joy around you. So just
Mm-hmm.
shift a bit more about, about the individual tracks and how they relate to your life, if you don't mind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ooh You was written in 2016, and I was literally staring at my husband the whole time. So that song is literally about him. Ooh
Wow.
you, keep me loving you. Ooh you, baby you, make my dreams come true. When I was a little girl, I dreamed that a prince would come. I
Mm.
dreamed he changed my world, but you make me feel much more. Like, I literally was writing lyrics. I like to write in the studio. So he was like in a corner, standing in a corner in the studio, and I was just writing like as I was kind of singing a song to him. The Thrill Is Gone is just a remake of my granddaddy's Thrill Is Gone.
Yes.
Frank put together this really nice melody, and we just kind of ran with it. But he put that whole like vibe and melody together, and I'm just amazed to hear people really enjoy it. Um, the third song is, my goodness, I don't have a CD in front of me.
So many ways
So
than
yes, so Ways Than One is a duet with Frank McComb. And so that just talks about being in love with you is so much fun, because you make being in love with you, it's just so many ways than one. Like, there's so many ways to love you, but it's fun. That's just talking about that part of love, just being being fun, and being fun. Love, it's not always challenging. There's a lot of fun to it too. Um, some of the other songs we talked about, I Adore You, You're Everything, My Everything was another song talking about our journey in the beginning, and then kind of throughout. We're married now, like, so a lot of it honestly is centered
it's
around
it's
just like
been
about.
it is charting your journey, isn't it? Literally from the time you laid eyes on him to where you are now, and then to having your children. It's all part of this, the family love, intimate love, but, and also family love.
Yeah, and then the song, oh my gosh, I should have a CD in front of me.
All right, the offerings you bring.
That's it. The offering you bring. My goodness, it's been such a long day. The Offerings You Bring is one of those songs that kind of dives into the deeper, like, fun things that lovers can do. And that's featuring Kimberly. She's an artist that's outside of Baltimore, Maryland. So that is kind of, jazzy but sensual. I loved making that song because instead of making it more like songs about, oh, the sweet part of love, this was a dive for me. It was diving deeper into kind of that intimate and sensual love. So that was fun to make. That was a lot of fun. Oh my goodness.
No, you've covered it. Got to find you
Gotta
is
find
track 8. Yes.
one. That song is just kind of about just being in a place. I just know being a mom, being a wife, sometimes we lose our identity.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to find who you are. You got to get back to, like, I got to find you, my peace, my joy. I have to find that again. Not that they make you lose it, but sometimes you can kind of get buried in everything that's going on in life and you forget who you are.
Absolutely.
So that's what that song is about. Like, it's never too late. It's never too late to go after your dreams, even after years of raising kids and all of that. And so that's what that song is about.
It just sounds like a really nice honoring of the everything. And like I said, you can see when you talk what it really means to you. You're not just talking frivolously. It means something to you. And you see when you take that deep dive into the different tracks, that's clear. And Val, how do you feel your your journey with music has, okay, let's just rewind. You've obviously come from a very musical background in terms of your grandfather. So how do you feel that's really influenced you as an individual and as a solo artist?
So my granddaddy sings, of course, B.B. King, but my father sings as well. So my dad was a minister, and growing up in the church, hearing my dad sing, my dad also sang he sang in a gospel quartet. So watching my dad sing, going to his rehearsals, it meant everything to me, and it kind of lit a fire underneath me. Like, I probably was singing at a very young age, but it was probably around 9 or 10 that it was like discovered that I sang. My dad said he could tell that I was a singer even younger, but going to my granddaddy's concerts, like at a very young age, was just magical to me. It was magical. Imagine being a little kid and you're seeing this audience full of people just loving watching your granddaddy play the guitar and sing. The way he captivates an audience, it's like none other. He was such a great role model because of how he captivates the audience and how he is just the work ethic, the type of artist that he is and was, even up until the time he passed away. He was on stage. He loved it. So that is the role model that I have. Like, if I'm going to be on stage, you're going to see my smiles. You're going to see the emotion. You're going to see me enjoying it because I watched my granddaddy, I watched my dad sing very passionately. And that's something that I enjoy myself. I just love feeling the music while I'm singing, while I'm up there. So
excellent. And as you're talking, the word authentic comes to me. Your grandfather, that lineage, there's an authenticity of being an authenticity of self, but also an authenticity. I've got to put my teeth back in. Hold on. Of owning the music and allowing it to do what it needs to do without hindering it in some way. And that's why I believe your grandfather was such a legend, because what you saw with him was what you've got. And even when you sing the blues, I had interviewed Muddy Waters Jr. some time ago, and he talked about the blues. He said to me, young lady, the blues, it's about the soul. It's about that, you're singing about that pain, and you're creating a song around it. So it's the blues. You've got to have lived the blues. I always remember that.
It's so soulful. And that's one thing that's a word I use to describe my grandfather's singing, is soulful. Like, just from the time he opened his mouth to the time he closed his mouth, it's so soulful. Like, You get so many artists nowadays. It's more popular to do like all these runs and all of that, and they're soulful too. But
Mm.
when it comes to some of the older artists, like they really taught us how to sing from your soul and make it soulful. So I agree.
Yeah, and I think also a lot of that was also where they were coming from and the experiences that they had
Mm,
at the time. And
yes.
so, in a sense, it was almost like a prayer. In a sense, it was almost like a pleading. In a sense, it was almost like a beseeching, an expression of the everything. Leave me alone. This is who I am. So there was so
Hmm.
many things in that pot, and you know, coming along the way, you yourself now have captured that in your second album so many ways because you very much talk about love in so many different aspects, but you can see that it's a deep process for you. It's not just in that surface. And I do feel that your album is going to really touch people's lives on many different levels, ladies and gentlemen. So just to remind you, I am talking to Val B King about her second album called So Many Ways. And I would beseech you to go and grab a copy. Now, where can people find out more about your album and purchase? Christmas is coming up, ladies and gents.
So it's exclusively on my Bandcamp page right now. And it's valbking.bandcamp.com. So VALBKING.bandcamp, and that's BANDCAMP.com. And so I like Bandcamp, and I learned this from Frank McComb. With Bandcamp, people can actually purchase your CD for the amount that is the price, but they can give more. So if
Okay.
someone get my CD and buy it for $200 to give a donation, they can do that. And the artist gets their money pretty much in 2 days. So,
Okay, brilliant.
yeah.
Brilliant. So, okay, that's Bandcamp. I'm going to put details um, on this once I've finished. And Val, is there anything else that you can share with us about your journey with doing this album? And I mean, and who have you evolved into whilst doing this album? I know it's a pretty deep question, psychology.
Oh, really? um, One thing I will say is I've learned to just dive into who Val is as an artist. Years ago, when I was younger, it was more trying to sound like all the other people that were out.
Mm,
And now I pride myself in just staying in the things that I just enjoy hearing within my realm, who Val is. So being more comfortable with my sound and just enjoying the journey, not getting so hung up on everything being perfect.
mm,
It's, sometimes there are quite a few artists that won't release material because they get so stuck on, okay, I don't like the way this sounds. I don't like they're trying to make this perfect sound or
mm.
perfect piece. And it's like, honestly, the people enjoy just hearing you. And I I had to get over some hurdles with regards to that. And this album is just something, this is every single song is music that I listen to, that I enjoy. Sometimes, if you work with certain people, they may have you kind of go in a direction that's more of what the producer may want. Well, it's one of the amazing things about Frank McComb. He's like, no, this is your album. So, what you're feeling, I was able to write on all of the songs except Thrill, because the Thrill is gone is original song by my grandfather.
Oh,
But
yes.
for all the songs, I was able to write and play a big part in the overall finish of what the song became. So that was a huge journey. Amazing to be able to say I'm a singer and songwriter. So
Excellent.
yeah.
Excellent, excellent. And last question, I did say the last before, but where to now? What else can we expect from you in 2023, Val?
So I perform with a group called A Crew, and artists creatively recognizing everyone's worth. It's A Crew. Um, Besides doing solo things, I'll be doing things with A Crew as well. We performed at the All Africa Festival at the Titans of Africa Festival in Dubai, and also at the Black Excellence Awards in Dubai in October. And that was amazing. I was up there with my crew, fam, for all of those performances. So we hope to be back for the All Africa Festival in Dubai in October 2023. And honestly, I want to do a tour. I want to do a tour. And so that is the thing that I'm looking to do in 2023. So everyone out there that would like to have me come and be a part of jazz, blues, R&B festival, absolutely get in touch with me. That's something that I definitely want to do, a tour. Absolutely.
Excellent, excellent. And they said, it's so said, done. When you put it out there into the universe or into the world, then it can only happen. Val, it's been a real pleasure in conversation with you, not interviewing, because interviewing sounds very sort of stiff. But it's been great to, conversating with you. Wishing you all the best with your album, So Many Ways. And I'm looking forward to speaking to you again next year about some of the other stuff that's coming up for you.
Absolutely. Everybody can go and follow my page on Instagram, Val B King. I'm on Twitter a little, Facebook as well, but mainly Instagram, just Val B King. So reach out to me. I'll reach back. Thank you so much for having me.
No, and I'd like to say thank you to Delroy Constantine Sim for making the recommendation as well. Thank you.
All right. To Delroy, yes. It was so nice meeting him.
All right. Bless you. Take care.
Bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Woman should.